Hey folks, and welcome to this episode of Tanning with Tyler. We have got a fun one today. So not only are we camping in the cheapest piece of junk tent I could find, we got a lot of new cool gear to go over. I've been ordering some really cool stuff, and Nicole has bought me a bunch of cool stuff. I'll show you guys all my new toys. Super excited tonight. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day. It is almost spring out here, so I figured we'd get one last camping adventure in the winter. Nighttime temperature is supposed to drop around -2, I believe, so nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. But the snow is nice and firm. It was a nice walk in, and it's 7-8 degrees right now. Like I'm sweating. I have to lose some layers. Anyway, yeah, so went on to Amazon and I bought the cheapest tent I could find on there that is meant for backpacking. So we'll talk a bit about that tent and tents in general. And yeah, we're gonna sleep in a real big piece of junk. Anyways, let's get right to it. Let's set up this tent and take a look at it. So here we have it, guys. The gem of a tent we will be staying in tonight. So this guy was $35 off Amazon. I honestly can't even remember the name of the company. I'll pop it up on screen here when I'm editing this video. But yeah, $35. Now this tent claims to have a hydrostatic head rating of 1500 millimeters, which is waterproof. I don't believe it. It's too good to be true for a $35 tent to actually be waterproof. Now, we're not supposed to get any rain tonight, so I'm going to take this out again in a rainstorm, and we'll see how it actually performs. Now, for those of you who are kind of new to camping, or you're shopping for a tent and you're not familiar with the terminology, hydrostatic head rating is just a fancy way of saying waterproof. So the higher the number, the more waterproof your tent is. When I am out in the backcountry on 7 to 10 day hikes, and I really need to know that my gear is perfectly waterproof, I will shop for something around a 3,000. 3,000, you're generally good, but it also depends on manufacturer. I have had tents with a 3,000 hydrostatic head rating leak on me. It happens. So it's all about quality of material, quality of build. You know, there's so many factors, but definitely if you're new to tent shopping and you're looking for something to get you by, 1,500 is going to be okay. But I wouldn't have my first tent be a $35 Amazon tent. Now you may be wondering, why would I waste my money on this? Just to show you guys what $35 quality tent looks like. And also, my buddy's got a couple young girls who are just love to play outside, and this is going to be a great tent for them to play and use as a fort in their backyard. So what's $35 to have a couple fun nights camping and fun for the girls. Anyways, let's set this guy up. I haven't opened it yet. I have no idea what we're in for. I don't even know if I'm gonna fit in this tent. I just saw the price and bought it like a lot of consumers will do and be tricked into having a tent because the price was so good. So let's give it a whirl. Love that cheap camo. Love it. Oh man. Now weight wise, surprisingly, 2.2 pounds I believe it was. So it is super light. It is very light. So right off the bat, before I even set this up, so I'm not sure how well that's going to show up on camera. So this is definitely going to be okay for mosquitoes. Some small black flies are going to get in, but no CMs are going to get through this mesh without a problem. So it's definitely just what I would call a fly net, not no CM mesh. That's another thing to think about when you're buying a tent, is if it has no CM mesh. If it does, no bugs are getting in. Oh man, this tent's gonna blow away. Well, that's it. That's home for the night. As you can see, it's very small. I'm gonna be curled up. This definitely looks more like a children's toy than a backpacker's tent. Now, if it was waterproof, you actually probably could get away with it. Because it is pretty light. Just a one man, if you don't mind being all scrunched up, but I can guarantee you moisture is going to be a problem tonight. And then again, maybe it won't. Maybe it'll surprise us. But I can see one problem right off the bat with the design of this tent, and I'll bring you in for a closer look. As you can see, guys, this fly is not adequate. So if you do get a good rain or even a slightly blowing rain, this thing is leaking. Now you may notice or recognize this spot. We're in a sand pit. Now the reason for that is I would really love to have a big fire tonight. And for those of you who know me, I do not like to have a fire on a forest floor, no matter even if it's winter. Not my way. So I know for a fact that all of this is just sand, super safe. So if I get a super hot big fire going tonight, it burns all the way down. It is not charring the forest floor at all. It's just sand. So in fact, on the other side of this sand pit, above on the ridge, is where I did my budget hiking video in the fall, and it was a nice spot up there. So I figured this would be a good spot so I can have a nice big fire. I'm not limited to my little stoves or anything. I can just have a nice fire, sit back, have a drink, and just enjoy this beautiful weather. Oh, so this was a gift from my lovely girlfriend, Nicole. She spoils the heck out of me. I had been looking at this for a long time and I hadn't quite pulled the trigger. I mentioned before that I really want to get into super quality handmade gear, and this was on my list. So for Valentine's Day, she went ahead and ordered it. It's from ImpalaWoodWorks in Turkey. And it is a handmade bow saw. So you have the option to add this super high quality wax canvas sheath. Really nice. So everything is handmade in this. Even the, I think that'd be a mortise and tenon joint, that is all hand chiseled. You can see at the end of the wood. And she had it engraved for me. She spoils the heck out of me. I'm super excited to try this out. Now, I believe the wood it's made out of is walnut. But really, really, really well made. What I do is you just wrap this toggle over and over, and it eventually pulls everything in super tight. Probably one more. And the great thing is with this saw anyway, it's paracord, so if this tends to break on you when you're out and about, no problem. You just get another length of paracord and off to the races. You see? Really, really nice. I really, really love the design of this saw. It is very light. I think it actually might even be lighter than my Agua Canyon that I carry around. And if it's not, it's right there. Anyway, let's take this and we're gonna chop up a bunch of firewood. And later on, I've got some more super cool stuff to show you. Most of it's from Nicole, to be honest. Like I said, she spoils me, but I did order a custom knife that I am super, super happy that I pulled the trigger on. I'll show that to you in a little bit, but let's go find some firewood. I'm ready for a coffee. Ooh, that's rotten. I'll tell you what, guys, I really like this thing. It is so well made. It's nice and tight. It cuts great. This is super sharp. So cost-wise, I think you're about $90 for the saw. Everything said and done in my cart anyway. I'm not sure what Nicole paid for this. It was gonna be $168 shipped to my door, which really isn't bad. It's handmade. It is great quality. It is beautiful. It also came with some wood balm to treat the wood every once in a while. I love it. Thank you so much, Nicole. I love you. This is fantastic. You spoil me. Yeah, ImpalaWoodWorks, guys. Check them out on Etsy or online. They do great work, and not only do they do saws, they do, you know, lots of bushcraft stuff, mugs, tools, augers, you name it. They've got a bunch of cool stuff. This, in my opinion, is well worth the money. I absolutely love it. While that fire burns down a bit, guys, might as well get bed all set up for the night while there's still some good light. Now, the next piece of cool gear, I'm sure you guys have seen these around now, the Flextail pumps. So this is actually another gift from Nicole. These are super nifty. So not only is it a pump, but I'll show you later tonight, it is also a really nice lantern. It is pretty bright, so you can have about 10 hours on low lantern mode, or less, of course, if you're going to be using it as a pump as well. So I'm not sure what the retail on these guys is at the moment. I'll pop it up on the screen for you, but this is a super cool piece of kit. So it's for ultralight hikers. You know, not only is it an air pump, but it is a very light lantern as well, so it's double duty, which is what a lot of ultralight hikers like, is something that serves two purposes: less gear, less weight. Well, guys, I did it again. I forgot coffee. It's always something. I'm so horrible. Oh man. So anyway, I did a bit of foraging around. We're gonna settle for a nice hot cedar and spruce tea. I'm sure you guys have seen tons of people drink this. It is quite safe if you drink it in moderation. Now, the cedar themselves, you don't want to use the woody piece of the actual leaf. So you'll see how it all branches up. All I did is just grabbed a handful and kind of stripped it off like that. So these are all quite fine. Just peel the needles off, drop them in. You can crush them up a bit too in your hands. You don't actually need a whole lot. Bit of spruce needle for me as well. So this stuff is just chocked full of vitamin C. And it's funny, you know, back in the days of exploring, where a lot of these guys died from scurvy, which is a vitamin C deficiency. And, you know, they're walking through these forests absolutely full of vitamin C. I mean, pretty much evergreen, You know, cedar's got tons and tons. You could have had a cup of evergreen tea and, you know, a couple a week and you would have been okay, no scurvy. Now what I like to do, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people do this, is I like to add yellow birch to my tea as well. Yellow birch, not white birch, has an evergreen flavor. So, you know, you chew evergreen gum? This stuff has a powerful, powerful, powerful evergreen flavor. So I just took a little piece of one branch and I'm going to strip the bark off and buds and add a little bit of mint to my tea. Now the next thing I'm super excited about, guys, is this new knife. So this is handmade from a guy named Nick out in Georgia. So this is a hand-forged 30 CRV2 steel with a curly birch handle. So I picked the handle material, the fittings. So this thing is just a work of art, guys. Like, it is beautiful. Everything is clean, fit, and finish is just perfect. The grinds are immaculate. This thing is razor sharp. The leatherwork he does all himself as well. A nice dangle sheath, all brass fittings, all hand stitched. I mean, and it just fits in there perfect. I love this knife. Now, if you look close, that piece of metal there is a through tang. So meaning the blade, the metal of the blade comes all the way through the handle. And in traditional blacksmithing, you peen it over and it locks everything in place. So that is awesome. Yeah, like I said, his name's Nick. Yeah, Nick. HF BushcraftShop, I believe is what I got. I'll pop the website on for you guys if you're interested. Believe it or not, this thing cost me, with shipping and everything, I think it was just right around the 200 Canadian. I've paid more for knives I hate. This thing is gonna be with me forever. He guarantees his knives for life. Guarantees his steel for life. Really nice guy, great to talk to. I'm so happy I went with him. Just beautiful. So we will strip some of this bark off the evergreen. Oh yeah, this thing just cuts like butter. I haven't had it out in the field yet. Just get the bark off. Oh yeah. Well guys, I think that tea is ready. Now my next piece of gear, which I am super surprised that I love it so much, is also a gift from Nicole. Go figure. So she bought this for our hikes for when we're on the go. So this is a coffee straw. Not sure if you've seen these before. Made by Javago. So it's got a filter on the end that you can unscrew and clean. But yeah, you throw your grounds in, or in this case, tea. You know, we got leaves and stuff in there. So instead of having to strain this out, I can just plop this right in my tea and drink away. pretty cool. I really do like it. It's got a silicone end so you don't burn your mouth, obviously. But yeah, it works great. It works great. Yeah, that's pretty minty. Ha, that is good. You know, I love coffee, but, you know, tea is good too. Oh. Oh, it's hot as hell. Man, is that hot. Well, guys, I'm gonna enjoy this tea and watch that sun go down. You know, I love camping and I really do enjoy filming, but sometimes it's nice to just turn the camera off for a little while and enjoy the silence. That's what it's all about anyway. Welcome back, guys. It is a gorgeous night. I meant to bring you back sooner, but I've honestly just been sitting here enjoying this fire and enjoying this silence. It is deadly quiet tonight. Deadly. Not a breath of wind. This fire is super hot. Just giving off a ton of heat. It's burning great. It has been the perfect night. Oh. So I brought you all back because you know what time it is. It's beer time, guys. I've been saving it. Cheers, folks. Oh yeah. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have had maybe one or two before I brought you back for this one, but it's a thought that counts. As you can see, I've got my Firemaple lantern going, ISO butane lantern, and in behind me here I've actually put the Flextail pump, and it's so bright. It's crazy bright. It's gonna be a perfect tent light for sure. Yeah, we're gonna finish this beer up and crawl into bed. It's getting on to be about 8:30. It's still pretty early, but it's been a long day at work. I am beat down for sure. I am gonna sleep like a stone tonight, regardless of how cramped I may be in that tent. Well, guys, it is that time. It is bedtime, and this is a tight tent. For sure. So, what I got tonight, since it's only getting down to like -2, I've got my Snugpack jungle blanket, which I love. It is rated for 0. This one's probably lost quite a bit of insulation over time. I've had it for years. So what I also brought is something else new. I bought these little booties to wear while I sleep. They're basically synthetic down slippers just to keep my feet warm, because when you sleep with a blanket, your feet always work their way out. So I'm gonna put those on. I'm gonna struggle out of my clothes and see how the night goes. Oh. So actually, I can almost stretch out, almost. Now I'm a pretty short guy. I'm only 5'8", so anyone taller would have a heck of a time sleeping in this thing. But it's not so bad for me. Anyways, there's also no vestibule, so I have to keep my boots inside. Probably just at the back here. Not ideal, but better than them being frozen in the morning. So anyways, I'm gonna head to bed and we'll bring you back in the morning for some tea and yeah, I'll let you know how this tent does. Have a great night, guys. Zippers also leave a little something to be desired. Good morning, my friends. That was an interesting night. So I admit, the blanket may have been a mistake. It got much colder than I expected last night. I was pretty cold. Thank the Lord for those booties that I bought, because my feet would have froze. But we made it. No harm, no foul. You know, I'm still here. Just a little bit of shivering and a long night for sure. The tent, however, surprisingly, is quite dry inside. I was expecting there to be a lot more condensation, especially with being at below zero. Yeah, there's just a tiny bit. I can't believe it. I was expecting it to be horrible. So either this mesh on the top works a lot better than I expected, or the fabric is so not waterproof that it just breathes perfectly. Anyway, we'll find out later. I am going to pack my stuff up and get on out of here. As you can see, it is quite a dreary morning. Ooh, excuse me. I need to get on home, have a coffee, and have a nap for sure. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Hit the like and subscribe button. Really helps the channel out. And stay tuned, because we are definitely going to get this tent out in the rain, and we'll see how bad it leaks. But so far, I'm surprised about the condensation. Anyways, you guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.